welcome to the season finale of Hashin' It Out with Paul Hash. I'm Paul Hash, and this is the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. On this episode, I'll be talking with the infamous Heaven's Gate cult leader Marshall Applewhite. So pour yourself a big glass of Kool-Aid, but don't drink it, and let's go live via satellite to a spaceship somewhere in California and meet Marshall Applewhite. You have a lot of big plans for your human followers, but you deny membership to chickens, penguins, and other flightless birds. Why are these creatures left out of your plans?
These will not go into houses on some planet like Earth and reproduce and have families and sit and watch television and make scrambled eggs.
Let's say you get reincarnated as a dog that was born on leap year. Then you have to multiply your leap years by your dog years to get your leap dog age. How old does that make you?
The body I'm wearing is, 65 years old. Yes, the body is that old. I entered at the same time my older member entered, which was in the early 70s. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Whether I'm New Age or what, I'm not that I'm New Age, but whatever your belief is regarding reincarnation.
So if a cat is reincarnated as a human, isn't it that human's responsibility to clean out his former litter box?
Now, the lower forces know this. They teach spirits to do this after they leave their bodies.
At your compound, you offer a sex ed class to some of your younger members. What do you tell these children about babies and how they are born?
They fly. That didn't necessarily mean they had feathers on their back. It could mean that they came in a flying object, and they came out of that flying object.
Is it your belief that chia pets were created with intelligence and learning capabilities and will one day rule the earth?
A deposit of a little bit of information was put in those plants that set them aside for the time that the mind was to significantly come in.
Mr. Applesauce, you believe that the 1927 New York Yankees were reincarnated as hemp plants, which you and your followers have made into jumpsuits which you wear. My question is, how can you tell if you're wearing Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig?
The mind that is now in here is almost like, cannot relate to what that plant was prior to the time that it came in significantly. So who the plant was that I'm now wearing prior to the early 70s is just a fuzzy, dismal memory, because it's just like taking on a suit of clothes that had a history to it.
Mr. Apple Pie, you have a history of dressing up like Betty Rubble and turning tricks for brontosaurus burgers. Try to tell me why you haven't told your followers of this.
And if I tried, I could invade some of that history and dredge it up, but it's so unattractive to me, and it's such a low vibration to me, if I can use that word without sounding New Age to some.
Mr. Applecart, I'm a devout Frisbitarian. I believe that when you die, your soul gets stuck up on the roof, and you got to get it down with a hose or something. Are you actually trying to tell me that my beliefs might be wrong?
Well, you can say, why are you telling me? It doesn't make any sense. That's where my trust is. That's where my faith is. I know that it is. It's not your fault.
Mr. Applecider, after a serious 10-year addiction to the hokey pokey, you finally got clean. What made you turn yourself around?
It's repulsive to me because it's certainly very human, because this vehicle certainly indulged in human behavior, human addictions, human ways, as every other human does.
Mr. Applephone, you claim that the Dead Sea Scrolls describe a giant Partridge Family bus emerging from the sky to come down and pick up you and your followers, and then ascending to the heavens while blaring, "I think I love you." That's a little hard to believe.
Now, it's difficult to accept the information that I'm telling you. If you knew how to interpret some of the religious documents that have been left for you, you would interpret them exactly as I am telling you.
The company that makes Red Bull claims that they can give you wings. If I drink a bunch of Red Bull, what else will they give me?
They will give you the things that will make you happy in this world. If you want to, you can praise their name and ask for riches, ask for anything that you want. They will give you the things that you want and make you feel good about it. It's even so popular today.
In 1989, United Artists released the animated blockbuster hit All Dogs Go to Heaven. Do you believe that's possible?
That's impossible. That's like the humans getting down on their all fours and existing with the dog kingdom and having an exchange there and the humans staying and restricted to dog houses and restricted to dog food and restricted to dog behavior. It doesn't make any sense.
As many may know, I am a fan of hard rock and metal. I've always loved the band AC/DC, with both Brian Johnson and the older stuff with Bon Scott. But the other day, my wife walked in on me while I was listening to AC/DC with Axl Rose. Is that wrong of me?
I'm afraid that what you have been listening to, I am not blaming you for listening to it. You hardly stood a chance.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Season 1 of Hashin' It Out with Paul Hash, the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. Don't be afraid to hit like and share with your portable communication apparatus, and I'll be back with a fresh new season before you can say anti-disestablishmentarianism. And thanks for watching Hashin' It Out with Paul Hash.
Excuse me.